if you had NIL back then.
I did. It was called Ninja is Illegal.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Not Just Football with Cam Heyward. I am joined today here at the Washington Wild Things Stadium with no other Heisman winner. Davey O'Brien winner?
Davey O'Brien, a couple other awards.
Buckeye.
Yeah.
Two-time captain?
Two-time captain.
All-American.
Yeah.
What other stats can I give? Man, just one of the best Buckeyes of all time.
I was going to say incumbent black quarterback.
Yes.
At Ohio State.
Yes. Was there anybody before you?
There were a couple, but, we set the standards there and after. So
there you go. He set the standard, the trailblazer, Troy Smith.
My man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm glad you came on. It means an honor to have you here. Here at baseball. You a pretty good baseball player?
I'm a decent baseball player. I used to be a pitcher and a third baseman. I was pitching when I was a youngster, took the four-seam fastball right off the barrel of the bat. It hit me in the noggin. And I was like a cyclops. So that was my baseball days were done after that.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about you today.
Depends on where you put me on the pitch. You know what I mean? I am like a Swiss Army knife, so I can fit in anywhere.
Okay. You brought up the O State quarterbacks and you being the Trailblazers. You've seen these quarterbacks now. You've seen the Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins.
Rest in soul.
Rest in peace. C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
There's been a plethora of guys.
Right.
What do you think about the quarterback position at Ohio State?
I'm like everybody else. I'm salivating. I'm extremely excited. It feels good. You are an incumbent NFL guy. You've been a starter for a long time, so as quarterbacks from Ohio State, we've been getting torn up. We've been on the shish kebab for a while. So C.J. Stroud, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Justin too. Justin, my teammate now, so he gonna get it right too.
Come on, man. Don't even get me started there, because you guys are scared. Excuse my language. The shit out of me. I'm a Brownie through and through, but I already know it's about to be tough coming up, man. My goodness.
You're a Browns fan?
All day, man. I can't help it, man. Yeah.
Are you a Glenville guy?
Through and through.
Oh, God.
One of the first. Pierre Woods started it off.
Man, Glenville has been the pipeline for Ohio State.
Very much so.
You, Ted Ginn Jr.
Dante Whitner, Darius Hiley. The list goes on and on. Marshawn Lattimore. We got the guys. We got some guys.
Talk about senior. Ted Ginn Sr.
Oh, man.
What has he meant to your life?
He's my world. He's my angel. He's my heart. I had delusions of grandeur growing up. I'm an inner city kid. I was a foster kid for a number of years. So abandonment was huge for me. Holding on to things was huge for me. Going through a lot, and he was the light at the end of the tunnel. If it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would have been, because I had a terrible attitude. But he shaped and morphed and had some patience and held me close. And that's my dad. Ginn Jr. is my brother, and I'll die on the pitchfork with him.
Ginn Jr. that fast?
Oh, man. It's faster than a little bit of grease lightning. I got some other vulgar things that I can say. I'm going to keep that on the clean.
So you taking Tariq Hill or Ginn Jr.?
I'm taking Ginn Jr. And the only reason that I'm taking Ginn Jr. is because I haven't shaken hands, slapped fives, or even been close to the other guy.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is an amazing talent. I'm a fan from afar, but Ginn Jr. is my brother, and we'll go down any back alley.
When you were in college and you had Ginn, you had Anthony Gonzalez, you had
Brian Robisky,
Brian
Hartline. I had a lot of good guys. Man.
Yeah.
Rory Nickel was a great tight end of mine, great brother of mine.
But when it came to Ginn, were you just thinking, get the bonus?
Holmes.
Oh, you had Holmes. Oh, shoot.
Look.
Wait, what's the best wide receiver you done played with?
Now, see, this is where I get in trouble. Because I'm a truth seeker, and I tell the truth. I've been throwing to my brother my whole life, since we were jitterbugs, since we were kids, 6, 7 years old. I got to Ohio State, and a different type of beast came through those doors from Belgrade, Florida. I've always said the same thing. Santonio, as far as the number one wide receiver, the best I've thrown to. Now, if you're talking about gadget plays and different cool things and just scaring some people, Ginn Jr. is number one.
Yeah.
But Santonio, you know it as well as I do. First off, it could be 5 people on him and he still think he's open.
That's every wide receiver. a number one wide receiver. You always think you're open.
But that's why I loved him. That's why I loved him to death. I knew he was going to be a safety blanket. I knew that rain, sleet, hail, or snow, Santonio wanted the ball and he was going to get open. Santonio is definitely the greatest receiver I've ever thrown to.
Woo. I want to talk about your senior year. You're going on, you won 3 times versus Michigan.
Yeah.
And then winning the Heisman that year.
Yeah, those are good times.
Talk about that season.
Huge. Incredibly nerve-wracking.
Going down to Texas, beating Vince Young and them.
Right. So we played a couple different number 1 versus number 2 games that year. Didn't come out, winning the last one, but everything else we did tremendously well. It sucks that we didn't get a chance to finish and put the exclamation point on the season. It happens. I got nothing but love for the rest of those guys. Got a chance to play them in the Senior Bowl a couple of weeks after, and we kicked their ass. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that it was us, but I'm saying that it was us. You know what I mean? So we controlled our own destiny, and hopefully these guys coming up into the season can do the same thing.
That year, you and Vince Young were at the top of the list.
Now, Vince left a year earlier, so he's a little bit older than I am.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Shoot.
Yep. Vince is a great friend of mine as well. But the guys that I was in the runnings with were Brady Quinn, Darren McFadden, and a list of other guys.
Shoot.
Yeah, Darren McFadden was
a demon.
He was different. He was
running the Wildcat.
Right. They perfected the Wildcat. And even though they did it good in Miami and some of the stuff with Ronnie Brown at Auburn, they perfected it. Felix Jones, they were beasts.
So, like, you and Vince were the cream of the crop when it came to, how quarterbacks look nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take responsibility of that, and how you feel about how quarterbacks look now?
I do take responsibility, and for however long I was going through bouts with mental health, and I wouldn't give myself enough credit. I wouldn't give myself, the versions of love that you're supposed to give yourself, because I didn't hear the roar of the crowd or the different types of affirmations from the people that I thought were really in my corner. Had to go through whatever. Now we're back into the whole mode of loving football again, and specifically the things that we did are exactly why Ohio State has the success that they have. The crop and the quarterbacks are totally different. Even some of the taller, just to be politically correct, the white kids are now more athletic. It's not about being 6'4", a cold bottle of piss. You got to be able to move. You got to be able to adjust and improvise, and we're seeing it all across the board. Yeah. That is what Ohio State football is.
You, how would you have done with NIL now? If you had NIL back then.
I did. It was called Ninja is Illegal. Yeah, we had the NIL. What's funny now, man, because it's retroactive, and I have an incredible lawyer and counsel as well. So for me, I'm blessed because it's still going and it's still working. Even though I'm not playing, my name is in the stadium. There's a couple other things that within and through Columbus I remain synonymous with, so I can't leave it. I won't leave it. I'm just blessed to have had some success when we were there. But the NIL is crazy, man. I love it. I believe that it is time. It's just due. Anytime an institution can sit down and say that they're going to give you a couple billions of dollars, you know what I mean? There's some shit going on, So it's time. It's time. Hopefully everybody got a decent counsel and y'all go into the board and get your just due because you earned it.
Let me ask you about the Reggie Bush situation.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Heisman brother. Watching Reggie finally get his Heisman back, or he's had the Heisman, but to be recognized again.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
It meant more than to us because silently and then in the back, like we were fighting for it.
Yeah.
I couldn't be there specifically because I had something to do with my family that day, but we were all lined up to be there in unison with him. He deserves it. He was the greatest player then. He's the greatest player as far as some of these decades go.
Facts.
And what's going on is now the truth is out there. If we get all of the truth, who knows what might happen. But Reggie deserves it, man. Nobody deserves to have anything stripped and taken away from him with the truths that we know now.
Would you have taken, looking back at all the NCAA games in the back, would you have taken USC back then when Reggie was on the game?
Look, okay. Now, I'm a fan of the sport. I love Flash. I love everything about when you're doing the game and playing it right, especially offensively. Of course, I would take it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of biased in that standpoint, you know.
You grabbing NCAA 25?
I am. The funny thing there is in NC2A, I hope y'all listening. I know y'all running for me when it comes to that name, image, and likeness shit, okay? It's not cool, but I'm going to buy the game anyway. Come on home and let's talk to these lawyers and let's get this thing worked out.
Let's get it going. Shoot. Last time we were doing EA Sports, you know, we had Jalen Warren and he talked about, you know, Justin Fields being in the back end.
Yeah.
Then the commercial comes out on Madden.
Yeah.
Justin Fields on kickoff return.
Right.
So maybe we got a little bit of pool. We can get you through. We got to have Troy Smith on the game.
Well, let's do something because here's the thing. Because of some of the stipulations with the first year, we don't have some of the bowl games. And we don't have some of the things that make the camaraderie what it is.
Yeah.
If you look in the stadium ring during the game, it looks so just, you know what I mean? It looks so generic.
Yeah.
The names that we have are iconic and classic, and you know it as well as I do. When you see Hopalong Cassidy, when you see Archie, when you see these different names, it means something. Yeah. So when you see it now, dude, you're gonna be pissed off. It's some generic weird shit. It's just because they don't want to spend, they don't want to break bread. You gotta break bread sometimes, man.
You got to. You know, when we talk about our Ohio State guys and who's gonna be the quarterback for O State this year?
Now that to me is more than just the toss of a coin, because I believe that the first third and long, you usually understand what you have underneath the quarterback position. You know it as well as I do. The defense pins their ear back. They're coming for you. We'll see what the quarterback's going to do in the pocket. That pressure in the Big Ten is something totally different. I got all the respect in the world for where he played prior to, talking about the Will Howard kid. But we've got some other guys that have been there. Devin Brown, I like him a lot. Don't get me wrong, his number, I don't know what's going on there. You know what I mean?
We got to work on the number.
and I would love for him to look slim and trim at 11 or something cool like that, but he's like 33, fat ass 33. It just is what it is.
Just don't look right.
Oh man, come on, man.
Can't be James Laurinaitis throwing the ball.
Not only that, but you can't sell out the play fake, dip your head, then come back up in a 33. Like, nah, man, that ain't the play. But I know it's got something to do with his family, and I know it means something dear to him. So I'll take my foot off the gas there. But I like the Nolan kid. Obviously, it takes a lot to get the coaching staff on your side and know that the plays that they're called, you're going to execute and you're going to get it done. It's an uphill battle there, but I think in between Devin Brown and the new kid coming in, Howard, we're going to see what's going on there. Got some pretty cool early games. Not as tough, but we'll see what's going on. We'll see what we're working with. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Punch with that,
I think Howard's going to take it, though. Oh, no, that's
Juke,
where I feel the best.
Yeah.
Not only that.
And Jukins, I think they're going to be special.
Not only that, but I got to say it right now on live so I can get this love and all of this admiration out there. Coach Lachlan. I haven't met him from a can of paint, but I talk to him every single day like I know him, like he's my brother. I believe that this is going to be a great year for the running back room because of the energy that I get through texts and calls when I talk to Coach Lachlan. I'm a huge fan of Coach Lachlan. I want nothing but the running back room to have great success. So obviously, you know how I feel about the offensive lineman as well.
I want you to give some love to a guy who's leaving Ohio State.
Who is that?
Gene Smith.
Okay.
What's the love you think with Gene Smith?
So I definitely got love for Gene Smith. Some of the first reasons why I got love for Gene Smith is because we were all.
He's our AD, by the way. I'm making sure.
Right. Yeah. He's our athletic director. He's leaving now, but his daughter, Summer Smith, was in school with us as well. We were actually all in school together. And my right and left guard at the same time, Rob Sims, they dated each other. So we spent a whole bunch of time together. So I know Gene a little bit more than just him being the AD.
Yeah.
I wish him nothing but success and wish him nothing but great things in the future. Incredibly controversial time while at Ohio State. There's a lot of different things that I'd like to unveil and talk about. Maybe we'll save that for another podcast time.
Maybe so.
But I got love for him because it's not easy to be a black man and be successful in this day and age. So everything that he's done, everything that he's going to do in the future, got nothing but respect and love for him. But I still want to talk about my controversial time at Ohio State.
You want to talk about it now?
I don't want to do it right now, man, because we might miss the softball game.
We might just. We got to wrap this up pretty soon. I would just say with Gene, a lot of people don't know, once we got that season vacated, I was off. I was going to the NFL. And, we couldn't keep the trophies. O State couldn't keep the trophies. So he called me personally, and he was like, I want you to have the trophies. So he gave me the Big Ten championship trophy, and he gave me the Sugar Bowl trophy. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
He was like, I'm not giving it to the NCAA. He knew how much, we put in that season.
That's very cool. And I think that's like the old adage that, in some people's stories, you can be a superhero, and in some people's stories, you can be a villain.
Oh, God.
I'm not saying that he's a villain in my story, but that's the old school ways of what's real.
All right, we're going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to get you started real quick. Best player you played with? I know you got Tone. And you got some defenders now.
I was just about to say, here's the thing, though, because I spent a great amount of my NFL career in Baltimore. And I played when the guys were there. Mm-hmm. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Samari Rowe, Kelly Gregg, my guy up front. I love Kelly Gregg, man. Come on, man. I'm down in the trenches, so I'm looking at him every play.
There you go.
Terrell Suggs. So I played with a bunch of great guys. Chris McAllister. Motivationally, I would have to say that the greatest player that I played with, definitely bar none, is Ray Lewis. I mean, he can get you going, and especially the first time I seen the squirrel, when he did the squirrel that dance, you know what I mean? Oh, man, it was crazy. He had M&T Stadium rocking.
He teach you how to do it?
I don't want to do that shit. Man, that's his dance, man. Let him look weird.
Now you sound like a brownie. Okay, there you go.
But seriously, I would say instinctually, a leader as well, and two, an even better person off the pitch. Ed Reed.
I believe that. Ed Reed is that dude.
By far, the greatest person I played with. My big brother helped me through so many mental situations because when I was having some success, it was weird. I didn't ride the coattail of having success. I was so afraid that something was going to come. Mm-hmm. And he would always tell me, T. Smith, this might just be your time. This might be your time. And, mentally I allowed it, so it just didn't work out the way I wanted to. I should have completed more checkdowns. Every quarterback, listen to me, man. Throw the check down.
So you believe that? Everybody's a game manager.
Oh, my God. You got to be. Before you can be a superstar, you got to manage the game. You got to show the staff that you can do what they ask and execute the game plan. But QBs everywhere. Throw the check down. Throw the check down, please.
Biggest trash talker?
I wouldn't say a huge trash talker, but he was right on time with it. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, James Harrison.
I believe that.
I mean, I played you guys more than enough. You know what I mean? In the AFC North, this is life. And right prior to me leaving Baltimore and doing some different things and then getting over there, I got a chance to meet him when I was almost a Pittsburgh Steeler.
You were almost a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah. I just didn't. I don't even want to talk about that.
No, we're going to get to that. We got to hear that.
Mike Tomlin might get a headlock, man. Mike Tomlin, I got love for you, but he just didn't hold up his end of the bargain with everybody, man. And that's another thing. But Harrison.
Okay.
This is why when I told you before that we were thinking about having the podcast,
there's some stuff. Man, I'm gonna have to call Mike T and say what's going on.
Don't even get me started because I saw him in Vegas and I started.
We were talking behind the scenes, and you brought up a guy that doesn't get enough love, and you guys have found common interests. Ricky Williams. Talk about that relationship.
Yeah. He's definitely the patriarch in terms of a lot of different things with what we know now is starting to dissipate in the league as far as rules. If it wasn't for him being brave and standing 10 toes down in what he knows and what we all know now to be real, we wouldn't have some of these rules leaving. Across the board with cannabis, it wouldn't be accepted the way it is now if it wasn't for guys like him. He gave me a chance to do some different and unique things within the realm of his business. Heisman is the actual cannabis company, nationally known. They're doing incredible things. We're going to do some pretty awesome things in Ohio as well. It's a way of life. If you don't know, every single person in this world, your babies included, have an endocannabinoid system inside your body. What happens is when you partake, whether you ingest it, whether you just relax and smoke it or whatever, it actually marries up to the receptors in your body. So cannabis and your endocannabinoid system is the process of healing throughout the whole body. Back then, it was taboo. Now it's starting to be a way of life.
How do you deal with that, with like the NFL really cracking down on it so long ago, to watch it change?
Well, this is also for another session because there's a lot of different things that contradict, and now we know the truths. The internet is now allowing us to share different things that we couldn't share before. Cannabis across the board within sports is just starting to be a lesser version of a quote unquote offense, and it shouldn't have never been an offense because now we know that it seriously medicinally helps everybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of coaches that want to pop open the Jack Daniels after the deal, but there's no medicinal benefits in any of that. But it's a way of life. Now, when we make what we're talking about a way of life, we won't be talking about this anymore. Because there's different ways to get to cannabinoids that can help your body. It doesn't have to be tetrahydrocannabinoid, that's THC. It can be just a cannabinoid that across the board can help you either sleep, can help you with your appetite, can help you with thinking and staying pretty prompt on time, whatever the case may be. The cannabinoids is a very, very, very early version of study. We don't know exactly what's going on. We're still trying to get it down pat. We got multiple ways to help the athlete that has nothing to do with the version of being high within the cannabinoid. It just helps you as an athlete and helps you be better.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right, I got one funny question for you.
Okay, cool.
Who's going to be the best baseball player today?
Now, I looked across the board.
Who's going to be the MVP?
I looked at a couple different names, even though I don't have my name on my jersey. I think I'm going to be the man. I think I'm going to be the MVP. I'm going to be the MVP. Number 25.
You ain't feeling number 25. I can tell that.
No,
okay, who's going to be the worst player? I know you done seen some bad players out there now.
I did, and I want to take one shot at my QB brother. I just met him. I was ecstatic about meeting him. So this is the only reason I'm throwing him out there. I just met Pat White.
Wait, you think he's going to be bad?
Yeah, I think he's going to be bad.
Oh, you going to be shocked.
He's going to be good?
Yeah.
I was wondering why he was taking them slow swings like that, too.
He got drafted.
He's like dead serious about it?
Yeah.
I'm glad I said that. He's going to be happy after this.
He is. I'll get him on the pod.
I'm sorry, Pat.
No. He stands with it. It's all right. We're going to be okay. But Troy, I want to say I just appreciate you coming on. It's been really cool to hear your story and, share with some stuff. We're going to have you back on.